I'm pleased to be joined now by Vancouver Canucks play-by-play man on Sportsnet 650, Brendan Batchelor, as well the host of Hockey Fight on Sportsnet 650 and a podcast. Brendan, thank you for taking this time. Now, when us people here in the border city think about the Vancouver Canucks, of course, we think about their new signing over the offseason, Braden Holtby. Brendan, just starting things off, can you just break down Holtby's performance for us so far this season?
Yeah, he's been a good fit for the Canucks coming in as a veteran presence. Obviously, Jacob Markstrom, who was close to a Vezina caliber goaltender for them last year, left in the offseason as a free agent to the Flames. So they've got Thatcher Demko, who kind of is the goaltender of the future, and they're hoping that we'll develop into a starting goaltender as one of their two netminders, but they wanted a veteran guy who'd had success, who could come in and share the load with him during what has been and will continue to be a very busy season in terms of how thick and fast the games come with the compressed schedule and the 56 games. So Braden Holtby's been good. You look at his performance in the last game against the Ottawa Senators. He makes a couple of key saves to allow the Canucks to maintain their lead. He uses his puck handling ability to make a nice stretch pass that results in a goal. So off the ice too, you guys will know in Lloydminster how great a guy and how good of a teammate he can be. So it seems like he's fit in really well in the dressing room too, from everything that we can glean. And I imagine it'll be a good fit going forward for both the Canucks and for Holtby.
And obviously with Jacob Markstrom leaving in free agency over the offseason, that was a huge hole there for the Canucks. But how do you think the tandem of Holtby and Thatcher Demko has done so far to fill that hole?
Well, it was a slow start to the season for both of them, particularly for Demko, and the Canucks struggled out of the gate, not just because of their goaltending, but, there were a variety of other factors that played into that as well. But it seems like both guys are rounding into form, and you hope from a Canuck fan perspective that they can push each other and provide internal competition to be as good as they possibly can. You look at Holtby, comes in the last game of the 3-game set against Ottawa and provides solid net minding for them to help them see the 3-game sweep across the finish line. Then you look at the 2 games that Demko played where he had a .975 save percentage in 2 games. They go through the week against the Senators, only giving up 3 goals, which, the Ottawa Senators certainly are not the class of the North Division, to say the least. But it was an important week for Vancouver to get back to feeling positive about their game, and that applies to the goaltenders as well.
Now, Brendan, so far this season, Holtby has a 3.17 goals against average and just above a 90 save percentage. Now, as the team starts to gel, it's still early in the season as things move along. Do you think those numbers will be back to more of a Braden Holtby type Vezina caliber numbers that we saw from a handful of years ago?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. A lot of that will depend on the number of starts he gets. And again, because of the compressed schedule, you're not going to see one guy play a whole lot more than the other. And you know what? We might get to the end of the season and look at it and go, wow, one guy played 28 games, the other guy played 28 games. So, you don't necessarily get a run of games like you would in a normal NHL season to try and improve your numbers. But that said, Braden Holtby, I think, is a better goaltender than he's shown this year. And the Canucks are a better defensive team than they've shown this year as well. Early on in the season, they were guilty of some horrendous giveaways, some really poor puck management in their own zone. And, not that either Holtby or Demko were bad to start the season. It's just they were facing some really high quality scoring chances with relative regularity. So you hope anyway that Vancouver can clean up its defensive game. Certainly, Holtby, I think, took a step in the right direction with the win over Ottawa in terms of his personal game. And if the team continues to play better in front of him, then you will see those numbers come back to where you'd expect them to be.
Brendan, thank you very much for taking this time and joining me.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
This was Brendan Batchelor, host of Hockey Fight and the play-by-play man for the Vancouver Canucks on Sportsnet 650.